Joe Biden was on the Ellen Show, and the topic of a potential 2020 run came up. Now, I can't show you the video for potential copyright restrictions, but here's what The Hill said about their discussion. Ellen DeGeneres is practically begging former Vice President Joe Biden to make a 2020 White House bid. Quote, "Just remember, that's what I would like to see," DeGeneres told Biden after asking him about the possibility of running. DeGeneres, who clasped her hands as if praying while inquiring about Biden challenging President Trump, said, "And I don't know if it's going to be myself or Oprah Winfrey as your running mate." And she ended with, "I love you so much." Now, apart from the grossness of celebrities fawning over each other, it's worth noting that the possibility of him running is there. And just this past summer, he launched a political action committee, which appears to be keeping his options open for that potential 2020 run. Now, before I get into why Biden would not be a good choice for president, I think it's worth mentioning that I think he would have easily defeated Donald Trump in the election. Now, that doesn't mean Biden is any better than Hillary Clinton, but in terms of optics, Biden comes off as a more authentic person. And I think that's why people have a better opinion of Joe Biden than they did of Hillary Clinton. But if you actually look into Joe Biden, it's clear that what he represents is not what the vast majority of people want in a president. In this article posted by MSNBC in 2015 titled, "Joe Biden is no savior for progressives," they break down a few reasons why Biden would not be a good choice. Biden was the main Senate author of the 1994 Violent Crime Control Act, which, among other steps, encouraged states to incarcerate more people. There's now widespread agreement that that approach was disastrous. Biden voted for the Iraq War and has frequently voted to ban so-called partial birth abortions, and has avoided voting when other abortion legislation was being considered. And when Biden and Clinton both served in the Senate from 2001 to 2009, his voting record was generally slightly more conservative than hers. And maybe most disturbing is Biden's ties to Wall Street. In this article from Paste titled, "Why Does the Left Love Joe Biden While Keeping Hillary Clinton at Arm's Length?" they touch on Joe Biden's relationship to Wall Street. For all the criticism of Clinton's ties to Wall Street, Biden has a much longer history of sponsoring pro-banking legislation, in part because his state of Delaware is home to so many credit card companies. And a more recent article in the Outline titled "Bye Bye Biden" expands on that. "Guys, the wealthy are as patriotic as the poor," Biden recently told a crowd in Alabama while stumping for Senate candidate Doug Jones. "I know Bernie doesn't like me saying that, but they are." So while Biden is authentic, his authenticity is exposing his ties to Wall Street. Biden's largest campaign contributor over the last 21 years of his career in the Senate was the credit card issuer MBNA, a now defunct bank based in Delaware. And while representing a state where the credit card industry is king, Biden championed a bankruptcy reform bill, which eventually culminated in a 2005 law for which Biden voted. Biden tried to paint the bill as good for consumers, but one study released after the bill went into effect said that it profited credit card companies at consumers' expense. And criticizing a Biden statement that the bankruptcy bill actually improves the situation of women and children, Senator Warren, then a Harvard professor, wrote, "Not a single women's group that has spoken publicly about the bankruptcy bill agrees with him." So Elizabeth Warren, long back before she was rumored to be potentially running as Joe Biden's VP, was publicly speaking out against Biden's approach to bank legislation. So when it comes to Wall Street and really policy in general, there isn't much difference between Joe Biden and Hillary Clinton. Peel back beyond his tone and approach, and you'll find a politician whose interests align as comfortably with Wall Street's as the last Democratic nominee. What he fundamentally believes is that financial institutions and the people who control capital are partners with which to find a solution to our societal problems. The reality is that they are the problem. Now, there are people out there that will argue, well, Biden is better than Trump. And yeah, Joe Biden is obviously better than Donald Trump. But why is that the standard? Because if we just go back to somebody like Joe Biden, who is like Obama, who is like Hillary Clinton, if we go back to those sorts of policies, it will just lead us back to the same place that got us Trump to begin with.